Welcome to this critical guide on the hidden costs of postponing your immigrant visa interview, especially in family preference categories like F3. First, we will set the stage for what happens when you consider rescheduling and why that decision can carry serious risks. Now that you know what we will cover, next we'll dive into a controversial insight: why postponing, even though it's allowed, is often dangerous. Although the official process permits rescheduling, it can signal a lack of urgency to consular officers. More importantly, it repositions you at the end of the backlog and exposes your priority date to retrogression. With that in mind, let's visualize the decision process before you hit the reschedule button. This flowchart starts with the interview date assignment. First, assess whether you can complete the medical exam and documentation in time. If yes, the best course is to keep your appointment, immediately book the panel physician, and prepare all documents. If not, determine whether there is a compelling, documentable reason. Without a strong reason, do not reschedule. Tighten your preparation instead. However, if you do have a genuine emergency, reschedule once, submit evidence promptly, and then double-check the visa bulletin while refreshing any documents that may expire. Next, let's address the time crunch. Medical examinations must be completed with panel physicians, whose schedules can be tight, and results may take several days to reach the consulate or to be sealed for you. Therefore, assume the medical window opens immediately upon notice. Weak reasons such as personal travel or insufficient preparation are unlikely to justify rescheduling. Only compelling, documented circumstances generally warrant a postponement. This timeline shows an ideal preparation arc. First, around 2 to 3 weeks before the interview, secure a panel physician appointment. Then, gather police certificates and the financial sponsorship packet roughly 10 days out. Next, attend the medical examination about a week to 3 days before the interview and verify results are ready 1 or 2 days prior. On interview day, arrive fully prepared. Afterward, anticipate courier processing. Finally, monitor document expirations in the following months. If you must reschedule, first determine whether the appointment was set by the National Visa Center or the local consulate. Next, contact the appropriate authority immediately through an official channel. Provide a concise reason along with documentation. Then, limit your request to a single postponement and confirm you will be prepared for the new date. Meanwhile, continuously monitor the visa bulletin in case your priority date retrogresses. Proactively refresh any expiring documents and keep records of all communications and evidence. Comparing the two choices, attending now preserves your place in the queue, avoids the risk of your priority date becoming unavailable, minimizes repeated document costs, and demonstrates preparedness. Conversely, postponing typically places you at the end of the backlog, increases the likelihood of priority date retrogression delays, forces you to reacquire documents, and can be perceived as a lack of urgency. This pie chart illustrates how costs can accumulate when you postpone and must prepare again. The largest segment is a repeat medical exam, followed by reissuing police certificates, updating financial documentation and translations, travel and logistics changes, and miscellaneous administrative and time costs. Together, these can be substantial. This table summarizes common expiration windows. Police certificates typically expire within 6 to 12 months. Medical exams are often valid for 6 months with ties to visa issuance. Affidavits of support financials require yearly updates, and civil documents generally remain valid unless amended. Therefore, postponement increases the likelihood that you must refresh multiple items. Now let's explore priority date retrogression. If your date is current at the time of scheduling, postponement can cause you to miss the window. Should retrogression occur, your case pauses until the date is current again, which, for categories like F3, may add many months or even years. Therefore, monitor the visa bulletin closely after any rescheduling. This sequence diagram shows the chain of events. The applicant receives an interview date from NVC. Then, the applicant requests postponement from the consulate. The consulate removes the applicant from the current queue and places the case at the end of the backlog. Meanwhile, the visa bulletin may retrogress. During the extended wait, the applicant often must refresh documents. Finally, a new interview date is issued when a slot becomes available. To reduce the urge to postpone, follow this checklist. First, book your medical immediately and confirm any required vaccinations. Next, gather police certificates and translations. Then, Assemble the financial packet, including the I-864, the latest tax documentation, an employer letter, and recent pay stubs. After that, collate originals and copies of all civil documents, and verify your passport's validity. Finally, within 48 hours of the appointment, confirm the medical results are ready, reread the consulate's instructions, and pack documents in labeled folders. Quiz time. Which reason is most likely to justify rescheduling your immigrant visa interview? Option A, not enough time to prepare. Option B, pre-booked vacation travel. Option C, documented medical emergency. Option D, waiting for a cheaper flight. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We'll discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is documented medical emergency. Consulates require compelling, well-documented reasons to consider postponements. Personal travel or insufficient preparation are typically inadequate. Here are the best practices. Treat the initial appointment as non-negotiable, if at all possible. If an emergency compels postponement, request only one reschedule and provide supporting evidence. Book the medical examination immediately. Monitor the visa bulletin for changes, and proactively refresh documents to avoid duplication of effort and cost. Let's consider common scenarios. If you receive late notice, compress your preparation rather than postpone. If your priority date just became current, resist rescheduling because retrogression could close your window. If a hospital admission or similar emergency arises, reschedule once with documentation and then over-prepare. If your police certificate is nearing expiration, renew it rather than move your interview. Before we wrap up, an important disclaimer. This content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. Because immigration cases vary significantly, consult competent legal counsel or follow the specific instructions provided by your U.S. consulate or embassy. In summary, rescheduling is permissible, but often the riskiest choice due to queue loss, priority date retrogression, and document expiration issues. If you must reschedule, do it once, act quickly, and include strong evidence. Otherwise, prepare aggressively and keep the original date. Finally, if this guide helped you avoid costly delays, please like this video, share it with others navigating the process, and subscribe for more evidence-based immigration insights. Then, tell us about your timeline and questions in the comments so we can help.